Well, starting off the show this morning, we are talking about stroke awareness. Now, May is National Stroke Awareness Month. And joining us now, we have Dr. Juana Suaje, who is the medical director for Weslaco Regional Rehabilitation Hospital. And we have Corina Rodriguez, who is the CEO of the Weslaco Regional Rehabilitation Hospital. So both, thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. So before we get into this upcoming event that also is, benefiting stroke awareness and this 5K walk and run, before we get into those details, I want to talk a little bit about kind of stroke awareness in general. Now, we have a whole month dedicated to it, and kind of why is that, and the importance of kind of reminding, patients kind of what to look out for and warning signs.
Well, there's a lot of good news about stroke, and the good news is very preventable. There's a lot of things that we can do to not to have a stroke, and it comes down to a healthy lifestyle, right? A lot of things that we do in a daily life can impact your risk of having a stroke. Mainly smoking cessation is one of the main things that we can do. Healthy diet is another very important thing. Weight loss. If you're overweight or obese, meaning your BMI being 25 or 30 or above, you're at increased risk of having a stroke. Physical inactivity is another very important factor. It's been proven that at least 2 hours a week of moderate intensity exercise can prevent you from having a stroke. So it's not an extraneous exercise, it's just moderate exercise, and it's only 2 hours in a week. So also alcohol. It's a little bit controversial because some people, it has been proven that moderate alcohol consumption can actually decrease the risk of stroke. They have been studies where they prove that at least no more than 6 drinks in a week can help you out in preventing strokes. The other things are controlling your high blood pressure if you have high blood pressure, and if you're a diabetic, having good control of your diabetes and depending on your risk factors, your hemoglobin A1C should be 7 or less than that. So good control with or communication and follow-ups with your family doctor regarding the medications for diabetes. So those are the main things that we can do in order to be healthy and not have a stroke.
Definitely. And I want to ask, just because we've seen it in the news with different celebrities or actors that have suffered from a stroke and the results of it, we've seen that, does it go to say that, anybody can kind of suffer from a stroke, that nobody's kind of immune to it, I guess, or exception, or maybe they're accepted from it?
Yeah, cardiovascular disease is a major killer in the developed countries, especially in the U.S. So cardiovascular disease also includes heart attacks, which is kind of the same physiopathological changes that happen when someone has a stroke. So cardiovascular disease includes heart attacks, strokes, and peripheral vascular disease. So by doing all these changes and lifetime modifications, you can prevent all of that.
Definitely. And I know there is something very clever and a way to remember if you know somebody, if you're with somebody, or if it's you yourself, if you see any warning signs to kind of look out for. It's the Be Fast. It's kind of a reminder of things to look out for. And kind of let's break down what Be Fast actually stands for.
Sure, I could. Yes. So Be Fast, it's an acronym that is used to help identify the signs and symptoms of stroke. The B stands for balance. So loss of balance is a symptom. E stands for eyes. So if there's dizziness, blurred vision, or acute loss of vision, that's also a sign. F stands for face. This is one symptom that I think most people recognize and understand, and that is if there's you know, a drooping to one side of the face, that's a symptom or a sign. A stands for arms. So if the individual lifts their arms, palms to the air, and they have difficulty maintaining both of those arms upright, that's also could be a sign. S stands for speech. So if a person has sudden slurred speech, that could also be a sign. And T stands for time, because it is extremely important that if those signs or symptoms are present, that individual get to the nearest emergency center.
Of course. Definitely, of course, make sure to seek help if you notice any of those kind of symptoms. And so when we start to get into it, and you know, you guys are talking to us about, you know, things to look out for and just things to better your lifestyle, and what better way than to sign up and participate in a 5K run or a walk if you're not a runner yet, or you just want to go out and actually get some movement for the day. So you actually have one coming up. So tell us a little bit about that and how people can get involved at home.
Sure. This is our third annual Be Fast Stroke Awareness 5K. We're real excited to come together. There's a lot of collaboration around this. It's actually hosted by our Weslaco Stroke Support Group, but they also collaborate with Knapp Medical, Weslaco Regional Rehab, Weslaco Nursing and Rehab Center, Mid-Valley Nursing and Rehab Center, Orchard Park as well, which is a rehab and nursing center. All of these facilities come together and host this run. It begins at 7:30 on May 18th.
Okay.
And it's both competitive and non-competitive. So for those individuals that would like to walk, that's absolutely fine. The run starts there and ends in the south parking lot of Knapp Medical Center.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, so definitely people, if you want some more information, that number is on your screen right there. It is on the graphic, and of course we have the website link as well for you to head on over if you want to go ahead and register. If you want to sign up yourself, if you want to sign up with friends, it's a great way to get out, get active, and get your heart racing, whether you're walking or running. So that's always really important for you to do. And as you said, Dr. Aswahed, that 2 hours every week, any kind of moderate exercise minimum, so that would be great for you to kind of get out and do that. Now, for some people who are watching at home right now, anything, whether they've suffered a stroke or they know somebody who suffered a stroke, is there anything that you could tell them as far as maybe seeking some help or as far as getting some resources? I know there is a support group here that they can kind of get in contact with.
There is. The Weslaco Stroke Support Group is held every third Wednesday of the month, 5 p.m. at Weslaco Regional. And we have a website that is up. We have a Facebook page.
Perfect.
So people can they can contact the facility. I believe we also have our number, the number that is been given for the run information. That's the same number that can be used.
Perfect. Well, I want to thank you both so much for coming in today and talking to us about this and giving us some warning signs and kind of tips to kind of live a better life as well and kind of keep ourselves healthy. So I want to thank you both so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
Thank you.